This is Movietone News, circa 1928, and I'm your current news commentator for Movietone News, Jack B. As the end of the Roaring Twenties come to a dull roar, the end of a decade of prosperity comes to a close. Calvin Coolidge succeeds to the new incoming president, Herbert Hoover. President Coolidge and his lovely wife Grace say goodbye to public life. The age of decadence is replaced by a new, non-prosperous financial depression. But in the midst of these dark times, a child was born to Louis the Rat Maurice Le Bonville and Friedelise Maurice Le Bonville. This photograph was taken in 1929 at Joseph and Felicity Maurice's 60th wedding anniversary. Mom was just 10 months old, held by her mom, Friedelise, affectionately known as Meme. Seated to the right of Meme is Mom's brother Ray, brother Lee, and sister Lillian. Mom's mother, Friedelise Audet, we know as Meme, was born in Canada in 1898. Mom's dad, Louis Le Bonville, was born in Quebec, Canada in 1886. They married in 1915 and had 9 children: Lillian, Ray, Lee, Marge, Friedelise, Muriel, Loretta, Emery, and Luella. Unfortunately, Friedelise died when she was just 1 day old, and Muriel died at just 7 years old of streptococcus infection. Mom's dad, Louis, was killed in a tragic accident. The family was separated from their mom and became wards of the state. Ray, Lee, and Emery all served in the armed forces. Ray served on the USS Finback, a naval submarine. Off the coast of Iwo Jima in 1944 on their 10th War Patrol, the Finback was sent on a mission to rescue a downed fighter pilot. The mission was a complete success. The pilot they rescued was Lieutenant George H.W. Bush, who later became the 41st President of the United States. Ray was just following orders, so we really can't blame him for George Bush Jr. Lee also served in the Navy as a cook, and Emery served in the U.S. Army. In the early years, Mom lived with Clara Dufour, and from 1940 to 1948, she lived with Frank and Julia Collins in Billerica, Massachusetts. She also spent some time living with her older sister, Lillian. Here are some of Mom's grade school report cards. She attended Lowell Vocational High School. Her course of study was hairdressing. Dad was born Paul Emile Villandry on August 21st, 1908, in Biddeford, Maine. In 1929, at the age of 20, he was crowned Merrimack Valley's lightweight boxing champion. Also a great musician, he played the upright bass and sang. He had several bands: the Paul V Trio, the Paul V Bar V Ranch Boys, and the Hawaiian Serenaders. He performed on Boston's radio WMEX and Nashua's WOTW, and wrote the hit song Television in Heaven. He also owned Paul V's Bar V Ranch, an outdoor country music performance stage. Mom and Dad married on March 4th, 1949, and had 6 wonderfully talented, beautifully handsome children: Paulette, Paul, David, Donna, Michael, and Jack. Of course, the youngest, Jack, was the most talented and stunningly handsome of the bunch, but that's another story. This was our first TV. Mom, Dad, and the family enjoyed vacationing at Plum Island. We had a huge tent and would spend as much time in the summer as possible. Brothers Dave and Paul followed in Dad's footsteps and began playing instruments and forming bands. Later on, Michael and Jack followed suit. Sisters Paulette and Donna seem more interested in starting families than starting a band. Tragically, in 1970, Dad finally succumbed to diabetes.